You only live once. Welcome, this is Abdul for How to Find Your Passion Now. That's the thought that's on my mind at this current moment. You only live once. So why are we behaving like we're going to live 100 or 1,000 lives? If you really believe that you only live once, wouldn't you be getting up daily, scratching and fighting and trying to make yourself better, to make your family better when you pass away because they only live once and their kids only live once? Why do we walk around? I see grown men when I would go down the South walking in liquor stores at freaking, 10, 11 o'clock in the morning, brown bags and hanging out on the corners and shucking and jiving and playing around. How to Find Your Passion Now book is actually available on Amazon. And let me just be real quick to you to let you know, why do you need this book? Look, for the longest time, I was searching, trying to find a thing. I was getting ready to write a business book. And then all of a sudden, and I don't even know how. Well, I do know how. Things that are meant for you to do, you just end up doing somehow miraculously. But I wrote a book called How to Find Your Passion Now because one thing I've learned is that people who do what they love in life tend to be far more successful. Because when you do things you love, you're not looking at the clock. And we all know the more time you put into a thing, you get better at it. Malcolm Gladwell said that it takes 10,000 hours to become an expert. If you think about your job, you don't want to spend 2 minutes in a job you hate. So think about a business or anything like that. So you have to love it, people. But guess what? People, we were given a gift when we came to this planet. It's up to you to discover it. And I wrote a book to help you discover that gift and start using it today. Get the book today on Amazon. Get it for a friend. It's something that you have to do. Now back to the program. As if they have 100 lives to live. Making up excuses of how they can't do something. Day after day after day, and how they're being held back. Let me tell you a short story. And sometimes you have to see pain with your own eyes to understand the circumstance that you're in. I was in Guantanamo Bay, Cuba with the U.S. Army. I didn't know what I was going to see. But you know what I saw? I saw for 6 months people who risked their lives to get better. But yet, to come back, get on the bus after seeing that for 6 months, people riding around, shucking and jiving. Shucking and jiving, making excuses, drinking alcohol, playing games, saying that there's no opportunities, not looking in the paper for his jobs, turning down jobs. And I left people who risked their lives to take anything. They would have came to this country and picked fruit 23 hours and sleep an hour just to get up and do it all over again. And they said that this country, the United States of America, is the most powerful country known to man. I call bull crap. If you hear this right now and you're living in this country and you're complaining, take your hand and spread those fingers wide and slap yourself for me as hard as you can. We have no reason whatsoever, no reason to be sitting around saying that we can't do something. If you don't like the life you want, go to the library. Get a book on a person that's successful. Go to Kindle. Get a book that a person is successful. If you can't afford that, go to YouTube. Listen to a person that's successful. And I want you to hear their struggle. I want you to hear people who didn't get it overnight, who contemplated suicide, who grew up with very humble beginnings, but they never gave up.
Even when it looked so dark that they couldn't do anything, they never gave up. So why are you giving up when you never started? I'm going to say that again for somebody that didn't hear it. Why are you giving up when you never started? If I get on the phone with somebody and you immediately start telling me that you can't do it, success isn't in your grasp, you had a bad childhood, you had all this, and if you don't change that thought after a few things of me telling you that that's a bunch of bullcrap, I will hang up the phone with you and I say you need to go back and do some self-work. Because the guy that's holding this microphone right now grew up in an environment where welfare cheese was part of your meals for the day. You ever made eggs with water? Put water in a bag and you have eggs? I didn't even know how poor I was. I didn't even know, because this time I was Christian, I didn't even know how bad it was until my cousins came down. And they would, when you're a kid, you show your gifts to your friends and your family. And then you always say, what did you get? And I don't know why I asked that question. But I would listen to them talk for about 30 minutes, it felt like. I got the C-3PO, got the Star Wars, I got the Batman, I got this, I got that, I got a train set, whatever. And I'm like, holy crap. And as a kid, that made me feel like I was useless. Like, how do these human beings get so much? They had a mother, they had a father, and they would put their money together, and they would just buy things. My list was maybe. It took me about 30 seconds to say what I had. Usually I get one big thing and a few small things. And this is not to put my mom down because that's the best she had. But I'm glad that was my life. You know why? It taught me something. It taught me to be satisfied with what you get. Taught me to be satisfied with what you get. And if you want more, get your butt out there and work for more. That was the best lesson I had in my life. You have people now that got so much and then complain and then will say, that's all? What kind of adult do you think that's going to be? I'm telling you right now, the best thing you can have in your life is pain and survive it. Pain. I'm talking about the pain so much that it's so bad you have to turn on slow music and just sit there and rock in the corner. That's the kind of pain I went through. Day after day after day, nothing, no success, no sign of money, but you keep going somehow. If any of you are going through that thing, just keep waking up. Just keep doing it. You're being tested. Do you really want it? You read stories of Bill Gates falling asleep on a floor at school, and he dropped out. He was preparing himself to be great. Preparing himself to be great. I'm going to tell you right now, if you want it, you better be careful what you say, because you're going to have to go through some tests to get it. I have not met any man or woman who is successful today, and I've had the pleasure of speaking to, that got it overnight and got it quickly. It took sacrifice. It took long hours. It took all of that. I hear people say, why you gotta stay up so late? I gotta get my beauty sleep. What's beauty sleep? Look, I'm telling you right now, sleep is important, but we're going to sleep a lot when we die. Well, I don't know that. I haven't died yet. But I can tell you what, the planet that we live on was not meant for play. We're here for a purpose, guys and gals. Purpose. And that purpose is to find you and, I believe, to worship the Creator. For some of you who don't believe in God, maybe it's for something else, but it's to develop you. You know, and just to even not get into a religious debate, I want you to think about something before I close here. If you walk up to your car and grab the keys, and you put the key in ignition, and then your spouse looked at you and says, "Where are you going?" And you looked at your spouse and you looked at him and you said, "You know what? I really don't know where I'm going." Do you think they would look at you with a confused look on their face? You damn right. You know why? Because they would look at you like you're strange. What do you mean you don't know where you're going? You're going somewhere. You have the keys. If you woke up in the morning, you started putting clothes on and you put a suit on, and somebody said, "Man, you're getting so dressed up. Where are you going?" "I don't know." Same thing. So you think that you're sitting around here on this big planet Earth and it's not for a reason? You're sadly mistaken if you think that. So I'm going to tell you right now, read every book you can, listen to every podcast you can, surround yourself with every great person you can, and just do that over and over and over again. Over and over and over again. Do it. So I'm going to close, and I hope these words have helped someone to just think more about what it is that they're trying to do in life. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you, and until next time, signing off.